Kamala Harris hits the road for her new book tour and walks straight into Piers Morgan's buzzsaw. What started as a polite panel turns into 7 straight minutes of pure chaos. The definition of mandate, voter suppression, arguments, and Morgan just refusing to let it go. Take a look at this clip.
In Houston, Texas, where Kamala Harris is on her book tour, and she said this about Trump and his mandate.
It was the tightest, closest presidential election in the 21st century. He does not have a mandate. That is not a mandate. That is not a mandate.
Now, I'm sorry, Yolanda, but Kamala Harris is completely and utterly delusional.
I respectfully disagree.
Well, okay, but let me explain why. Just to remind everybody, Donald Trump won back the White House. He won the popular vote and the electoral.
Right out the gate, Piers goes full bulldozer mode, calls her utterly delusional before she even finishes her thought. Classic Piers. Facts, exaggeration with a side of caffeine.
The Republicans won control of the Senate and the House. It was a clean sweep. Everything.
But it doesn't make
everything moved to Donald Trump and the Republicans. And yet there is the biggest loser in modern times, running around like she was cheated, like she was on the verge of this amazing victory, when in fact she got absolutely pulverized. She lost every swing state.
She literally did not say she was cheated. Those words came out of your mouth, not hers. I was there. And it was a very close election. And you know what? Whether you win by 1 point, by 1 vote, or whether you win by 100,000 votes, the win is a win. And there was not a mandate. There is not a mandate, which is exactly why we're fighing.
But if you say there's no mandate, you're saying
not a mandate. When Hillary won,
okay, but hang on, Yolanda, what else could hang on? What else could Donald Trump have won before you concede he has a mandate to be president?
So first of all, no, a mandate to shove stuff down Americans' throats like he's doing, that was not done. He was
elected president of the United States.
I don't disagree with that, unfortunately.
That's the mandate.
But it's not a mandate. And guess what? The beautiful thing about
hang on. What is a mandate then to you?
To me, a mandate is when you win by a lot.
By a lot.
There's a whole bunch of votes separating you. There were not.
But that's not what a mandate is in a democratic society.
We have officially entered Define Your Term stage of the debate, where 2 people argue for 5 minutes about a single word. Welcome to political television, folks.
But Yolanda,
Donald Trump is notorious.
Yolanda, that is fake news. A mandate in politics is whether you win or lose an election. And Donald Trump won emphatically.
I don't disagree.
He won by every metric he could possibly have won. He won every swing state. He won the popular and electoral college vote. He won the House. He won the Senate. He won the White House. There was nothing left to win. It was literally the widest mandate imaginable.
And what I will say to you is, there was a lot of voter suppression, including here in Texas.
So she was cheated then? You think she was cheated?
You know what else? The Russians interfered in the election.
So it was a rigged election.
She didn't say it. I said it.
So Yolanda, was it a rigged election?
I will continue to fight Donald Trump with everything I have.
Yolanda, you started by saying that at no stage did Kamala say she was cheated. Now you're suggesting she was cheated.
No, I said she didn't say that. I'm telling you what I saw.
Was she cheated or not?
In Texas. Here's what I'm saying to you. What I saw in Texas with my own eyes is shorter voting hours for people who would ordinarily have voted for Kamala, taking away voting on days when people didn't have to go to work.
So she was cheated.
Would have been people who voted for Kamala.
So was she cheated?
There was active voter.
And here comes the trap. Piers keeps saying, so was she cheated? Like he's cross-examining an attorney. You can almost hear the producers smiling in the control room.
Was she cheated then?
Which is exactly why they're now redistricting.
I hear you.
Because he knows that next year, that
Yolanda,
if we go by what he says, there will be a mandate getting rid of him.
Yolanda, so therefore you're saying she was cheated?
What I'm saying is there were efforts made by the Republicans to suppress votes that would have voted for Kamala.
I heard you, but just to clarify.
So what I said is what I said.
I hear you.
What I said
I hear you.
what I said.
But just to be clear, what you're saying is it was a rigged election then?
What I'm saying is they voter suppressed. That's what I'm saying.
So was it a rigged election?
I said that voter suppression
I heard
is
you.
real and it happened.
But if there was
you're not gonna
genuine,
get me
okay,
on-
but if
you're not- look, I'm a trial lawyer. You're not
Yolanda,
going to put
if there was,
words into my mouth.
Yolanda, if there was voter suppression, it was a rigged election. Is that what you're
There
saying?
was voter suppression. You can make that leap if you want to.
No,
There was
you're
voter
making the
suppression.
leap. I'm not.
No, you are making the leap. I said exactly what I meant to say, and I'm not going to have you try to beat me down to say what you want me to say.
I'm not trying to
There
beat you
were
down.
tactics
I'm
used
simply trying to get you to
suppress
clarify
the
what you're
votes
saying.
I have verified what I've said, and there were tactics used to suppress the vote of people who ordinarily would have voted for Kamala and other Democrats.
All right, Joe
It is
Walsh.
what it is.
No, Pierce, again, just all due respect to Yolanda. She's wonderful. She didn't run for president last year. Some perspective, we've only had one candidate for president in this nation's history who said an election was rigged, who refused to accept the loss, and who refused to concede. Kamala Harris said Donald Trump won fair and square.
Boom, the debate finally lands after 7 minutes of circular logic. Walsh swoops in with the sanity, and somehow Piers agrees with him.
She conceded. She showed up at his inauguration. Stop.
Okay, but what about her claim, Kamala's, that it was the closest election this century, implying that somehow she narrowly missed out on power? She didn't.
No, it was, I could be wrong on this. I think Trump's popular vote victory was the fifth smallest since 1900. So it wasn't.
But he didn't even win the popular vote in 2016.
So yes, Pierce, she's exaggerating, or if you want to say lying, that it was the closest.
Right.
But Donald Trump has said it was the biggest win in U.S. history. Come on.
In terms of, but then it comes down to how you interpret the word mandate. To me, it is hard to imagine, honestly, it's hard to imagine a wider ranging mandate than that you win by every possible metric that you could possibly win by. That's a mandate.
Well, I agree with you on this. Any winning president has a mandate. I don't care if they win big or small. They won. They get to try to do what they want to do.
Say what you want about Piers, but he knows how to drag a panel from zero to chaos in just under a minute. This might be the cleanest Green Zone clip of the year. No policy talk, no trigger words, just pure political theater. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe. We've got more Raw Nation heat coming.